most important piece of equipment in your kitchen are your knives. The good news is you only need a few knives and cutting techniques to be a great cook. There are 3 really common cutting techniques: chopping, dicing, and mincing. These are all really simple and easy to practice. Let me show you how. Before we get started, just make sure that you have clean hands, a steady cutting board, and a really sharp chef's knife. First, let's practice our pinch grip with our chef's knife. So to do this, you want to put your thumb and your pointer finger back on the blade, kind of close to the handle, and pinch pretty firmly. And then you want to wrap your other fingers around the handle and grasp tightly. This is a pinch grip. It will be a really steady grip for you as you cut. You want to make sure to really maintain this grip the whole time while slicing. When cutting items that can roll around on your cutting board, such as an onion, you want to get to a flat surface as soon as possible. So we can do that by cutting off the top of our onion. So just look at your onion. You want to find the top and the root. Again, we're going to cut through, we're going to cut off the top first. First step is you want to take your knife, again, use your pinch grip. Then you want to turn your onion so that the top is facing towards your knife. We want to be sure to use our claw here. So you want to turn your fingers in to protect them, being sure that both your pinky and your thumb are also turned in. And then take your chef's knife and just cut straight down, removing the top. Now you have a flat surface, a more stable surface to cut off of. Now the onion is on the new cut surface, your flat surface, you want to actually cut through the root. We want to keep the root as much intact as possible. It helps to keep the onion together when you're slicing and cutting in a minute. So put your knife right on the middle of the root, take your other hand and just give it some good pressure and just slice all the way down. Set one of them aside, and then we're going to peel 1/2 of our onion. Mincing is a cutting technique that finely chops your food into very small pieces. And this is good for foods like onions or even garlic that have really pungent, strong flavors. So let me show you how to mince using an onion. So we have 1/2 of an onion here that I peeled. We have the root still attached. And I want you to take your chef's knife, again, use your pinch grip. We have our thumb and our pointer finger. Slide it towards the handle and then wrap your other fingers around it. Taking your onion, place your palm really steadily on top of that onion. You almost want to push it down into the cutting board to make sure it doesn't slide around on you. So we have our palm on top of our onion and then our pinch grip with our chef's knife. And I want you to push your knife through horizontally and then kind of pull it out. And we need to have a fair amount of horizontal cuts here. So you may want to do 5, 6, around there, just to make sure you can get a really fine mince in your onion. So horizontal stripes. This time I want you to curl your fingers back into your claw. That's really going to protect your fingertips. Be sure that your pinky and your thumb are pulled in as well. And then you want to take your chef's knife, the tip facing down, and really kind of punch it into the onion and then pull back. Be sure that you don't go all the way to the root. The root's actually helping the onion to stay put together instead of all falling apart on you. So again, a couple here, you want to do maybe 5 or more depending on how large your onion is. When you get towards the end, you may want to actually start to grab your onion and then do your vertical cuts. If some fall out like this, not a problem, just kind of push them off to the side and we'll get those in a second. So using your claw again, you want to turn your root towards your left or away from your knife. And then your pinch grip with your chef's knife, tip facing down. We want to slice through pretty thinly if you can. Now we end up with a small dice, but this is actually, we want to mince again. We want a really, really small dice. So gathering all of your onion together, take your chef's knife, your pinch grip, and actually place your other hand on top, and you're just gonna rock through the onion and get it to just be a lot of a smaller size dice. So do this until you achieve a pretty small bite. So you can always wipe your knife off. You just want to be careful with that sharp blade. So again, just keep kind of bouncing your knife through your onion until you achieve a small dice. Put it in here, and you can kind of see the difference We're gonna have a really small, little tiny bit here. This is great for recipes that, again, you don't want a really pungent flavor, you want it to be dispersed really evenly. So much smaller than your standard dice or your chopped. Minced garlic is a really common ingredient in recipes and really easy to do. Let me walk you through it. First, you want to break away the clove of garlic from the bulb of garlic. So you just want to peel off one clove, and you're going to end up with a lot of papery skin on this piece of garlic. So what we want to do, it's kind of a fun part, take your chef's knife and you want to actually push down the blade of your knife on top of the garlic. So just set it on top first, and then actually you can just kind of hit it with your palm. Perfect, until it smashes. And what happens is that the papery skin just falls right off. So just peel that off of your garlic, and then you're left with perfectly peeled piece of garlic. Now we want to actually finely chop this or mince this garlic. So you want to take your chef's knife, make sure you get all the skin off. So we have our claw, we have our pinch grip, and now we actually just want to put the tip of the knife onto the cutting board and just rock the knife through this clove of garlic as finely as you can and go all the way down. Perfect. Now we just want to take our other hand and place it on top of our chef's knife, and you're just going to rock your knife through the garlic as much as you can to get a really fine mince. Garlic can be a little bit sticky, so definitely suggest that you take time to just wipe off carefully your knife and then keep rocking. So you get a really evenly minced clove of garlic. So go until you get a really small, fine mince. And then about 1 clove of garlic is going to yield you about a teaspoon of minced garlic. Having the right knives and knowing how to properly use them will help you to become more confident in the kitchen.